guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have actually realised, looking at the videos on my channel, which I know there aren't many, I'm doing my best, I never actually introduced myself to the world of BookTube. I kind of just appeared and that was that. So I thought I would do a fun little get to know me bookish tag. I did find some questions on the internet. Yeah, so I've got the questions on my phone. I put them in my notes. So the first question is, why did you start your channel? I have always dreamt of having a YouTube channel ever since I was like 9 and was watching Zoella. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I've always struggled to kind of find my mojo with it, so I never uploaded anything. When I joined BookTok 3 years ago, I was like, maybe I'll do BookTube down the line. And at the beginning of this year, I was like, why not? So I started my channel. I know I haven't been consistent with it, but I'm trying. I'm pushing myself now because I really want to be consistent with BookTube. Like, I love it. I need to give myself that push to keep doing it. But yeah. So yeah, I just decided, why not? I'm 24. Why not start my channel now? So yeah. Question number 2 is, what are some fun and unique things that you could bring to the platform? I don't actually know. It's not really unique. However, I'm quite a slow reader, so I don't read as many books as a lot of people within the community do. I'm hoping to normalise that it's okay to like not read as many books as other people. Like, you have your own pace, you have your own reading genres that you like to read. So yeah, I've read 35 books so far this year and we're in October. I had hoped to have read more, but I was like, I'm not going to be hard on myself if I don't read more. My goal was 50, I've dropped it down to 45 because 10 for me is more realistic than 15. But that's just me. But yeah, it's okay not to read so much. Read at your own pace. Don't rush. All that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that even answered the question. I think I just went off on a tangent, which ADHD, fun times. Okay, the next question. What are you most excited for about this channel? I'm just so excited to have a place where I can just sit down and just talk about books and just read and everything. It's why I love BookTok so much. I'm not as active on BookTok as I'd like to be, but one of my New Year's resolutions for next year is going to be more active because, yeah, that's for both these platforms. But yeah, I love watching booktube videos. I love just sitting there on an evening and just putting on some booktubers and just immersing myself in their worlds. And I kind of just want to do the same for myself, like give myself somewhere where I can just talk about books. People might be interested in, people might not be, but that's okay. I'm finding my mojo, finding my place. Why do you love reading? I love that I can escape from the real world. The real world can be really scary and really boring and really tiring sometimes. And I think just knowing that there's an escape, like I could come home from work and just go into my bed, pick up a book and get lost in someone else's life, get lost in someone else's world. I just love that there's always that opportunity that your own reality doesn't have to be the only thing you experience. And with reading, you live a million lifetimes in one. So yeah, I just love that side of everything. I just love that that's an option, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not trying to be motivational. I've not actually thought of these answers. I'm just reading the questions and just coming out with whatever comes to my brain first. So yeah. What book series got you into reading? I've been reading for a very long time. I would always read as a kid. My mum would always buy me the newest edition of the Horrid Henry books, and I've always loved reading. But my earliest memory with a book series would be the Morganville Vampire series by Rachel Kane. I haven't read all of them. I've read up to book 6, but I discovered those books when I was 11 years old, and they changed my life because I have been so invested in that world. It is 16 books, 15 books, 16 or 15 books. And it's just, I just love all of the characters so much. I am terrified to continue with it, but if anyone has read the Morganville Vampire series, you'll understand. There's just something about going back to Morganville, and that is definitely going to be one of my all-time favourite series ever. And I will always go back to Morganville when I can. So yeah, Morganville Vampire series by Rachel Kane. What question would you ask your favourite booktubers? I would just ask them how they come up with some of their ideas, because a lot of the time my ideas I kind of just find through other booktubers. Like, I'll scour BookTube and take down ideas that I like and then just film my own version of them. So I just wonder how you guys come up with some of the content ideas that you come up with, because I just love it. It's so creative. Like, BookTube is such a creative place, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's just books, but it's not. It's just a really creative place. The next question, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube will be the hardest to overcome? So, as you guys have probably noticed, I'm not massively consistent with my content. That's purely because a lot of the time I'll have ideas and I'll want to film, but I will get into such an ADHD paralysis on my days off work that I just don't film. And I hate that. And then sometimes I just like look at what I've got to edit and be like, oh, it's okay, I can do it at a different time. And then I just never get around to it. So I think finding a routine of filming, editing, scheduling, that's going to be my biggest challenge, but I am determined. I'm determined to make sure that I stick with this and that I push this the best I can, because it's what I want to do. So yeah, that will be my biggest challenge, but we're going to do it. I also think I've got to get over my fear of filming in public, because there are some videos that I want to do where it involves filming in public, like doing vlogs of going book shopping, going out with my book club, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I've got some plans with my book club that I want to film, but I just need to grow the courage to film in public, you know? So yeah, that's definitely going to be my biggest challenges with this whole thing, but we're going to do it. We're going to get through it together, and you guys are going to go on that journey with me, and it's going to be fun. Where do you read? I read in my bed most of the time. I can read anywhere. I read in the car, on the train, at work, not whilst I'm working, as in on my break and stuff, in my bed, everywhere. But my main spot is in my bed, just because the vibes of my room are really cozy and I love it. So I just love being able to just sit in bed on the evening and just pick up a book and immerse myself in the world. So yeah, that's my favourite place to read, but I can read anywhere. My ice has melted, this just gone everywhere. The next question is, when did you start reading? I partially brushed over this with the favourite series, or like the first memory of a series, but I have been reading since I think as young as 5 years old. Like, I was always more advanced in my reading at school because I just loved it so much. But yeah, I think that's roughly when it started. However, I did stop reading a little bit during high school. Like, I didn't read as much as I used to, purely because obviously high school, GCSEs, everything in the years, it's just kind of a lot that I just didn't really have time to read for me, and the only time I would be reading would be when I was in English class and they had like an hour where you just read. That was really the only time I would be reading. And then in about 2018 I picked up a book again properly, and the rest is history. I've just been reading as much as I can since then. So that's really it. So almost 20 years of reading. What kind of books do you like to read? So I used to be predominantly a romance girly. I used to only really read romance. However, ever since joining BookTok and everything, I've kind of branched out more into fantasy and things like that. So definitely romance is my top genre, specifically sports romance. Love sports romance with all my heart. But I do really enjoy fantasy, and I do really enjoy reading those kind of books and just reading different genres in general. I do want to branch out into more genres and kind of read like thriller and crime and sci-fi and everything like that, but we shall see how that goes. I may do a series on here of me trying to read different genres that I don't typically read. If that's something you'd be interested in, please let me know, because I am more than happy to oblige. Those are all the questions I have for myself. Now to check my story and see if there's any more. Okay, so one of the questions I have is, how many books are on your physical TBR? I don't know if I actually want to answer this one. I need to get my spreadsheet up. I've got a spreadsheet on my laptop of all my books so I can kind of keep track of everything. I do, however, need to add 2 more books. I have 160 books on my physical TBR. 160. So I need to get reading. That's also something I want to do, is I want to kind of try and get through as much of my physical TBR as possible. So I might set myself like little targets to hit before I can buy more books, but book club books don't count. That's my logic, is book club books don't count. So yeah, 160 books on my physical TBR, which is insane, but it's okay. We're getting through it. I've read 95 of those, of my TBR. So I got some questions from my book club also, because I could not think of questions. What series do you want to read? Okay, there are so many series I really want to read. The one I definitely want to read soon is the Windy City series by Liz Tom Ford, which starts with Mile High, because I hear so much about it that I want to get into that world. What other series? I'm currently in the middle of Tog. I have read up until, I'm on Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn right now. So I'm currently there. And I'm really enjoying it so much, like so much. I did take a little pause because I read so much fantasy in one go that I had to pause, but I'm gonna go back to it very shortly. Maybe I'll take you guys along with me on the journey to the final books. We shall see. What series do you wish you could read again for the first time? There are quite a few. Lost Kingdom Saga by Laura Carter. Love it with my entire being so much. I'm very excited for the next book. ACOTAR, would love to read that series for the first time again. The Morganville Vampire series, which I'm excited that I've still got so many to read. Off Campus by Elle Kennedy. So many series that I wish I could read for the first time again. If you were a book character, what genre would you be in? Sports romance. I would love to be in a sports romance. Like, I cannot express how much I would love to be part of a sports romance book. Like to enter like the off-campus world or the Boys of Avix world, or just anything like that, sports romance. Always. What book do you think about every day? There are a few. Lost Kingdom Saga, Laura Carter. Always think about it. Say You Swear, Megan Brandy. I think about that book too much. It Ends With Us I even think about, and Heartbones. Those two. I know Colleen Hoover's very controversial for people. However, those books. Love! Think about those so often. And 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. So that is everything for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed partially getting to know me, partially finding out some of my bookish likes, dislikes, things like that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to do my best to be more consistent. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.